Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to the International School of Traders and welcome to our Wednesday live trading session. Well, there's a couple of things that I want to discuss with you guys, and I hope you guys are going to see what we are trying to do this afternoon. I'm going to go through the news items that we have this afternoon. And yes, we are starting this week on a little bit of a I don't know if I call it a high note or what. Why is that? That's because we have been, I have been away personally. I've been away this past weekend. We had a wedding, my friend's wedding, and then I came back on Monday. I was hoping to work yesterday on a holiday, but I couldn't. I think I forgot my keys, back at home, but it's okay. So we're gonna start off with a couple of things, especially last week we had the non-farm payrolls in the U.S. The non-farm payrolls, that's when the U.S. government is giving out the number of jobs and people who were employed in the previous month in the U.S. and also the number of people that are getting jobs in the U.S. It does indicate on how the U.S. is performing in terms of giving out jobs and how do we have to expect the US dollar to perform over the next couple of days or weeks, you know. Okay, good stuff. Now there's a couple of things that I want us to get through, especially looking at the news items that came out this morning. The Japanese yen came out positive, especially in terms of the PPI. And then China was giving out CPI, which came out negative in the early hours of morning. Just some mild results coming from German HICP and CPI, which is Consumer Price Index, in the morning today, and then also mild. I think Euronews, came out nice, and then or let me just say mild. We do have business confidence that came out in South Africa. I can see that business confidence has risen above 89.3, which is the previous number, to 110.3. This is a good result. Let's see how the government or how things react, how the South African rand reacts towards these news in the next couple of days. And then we do have news coming out this afternoon. The consumer price index in the US year on year is coming out at 2:30 South African time. We do have the CPI, obviously the CPI month on month at 2:30 also coming out. We're going to see the numbers. It is expected to drop in the year on year, and also month on month is expected to drop. So that's going to be very, very, it's going to be something to look out for this afternoon. We do have other news as well coming out later today from the US, especially crude oil inventories and all of those things. But we are going to be looking at the federal budget balance coming out at 8 o'clock South African time. That is going to be the US. Okay, now that we know what's going on, half-past 2 is very, very important for us as traders. Let's look at something that might be, I think I have two possible trades that I'm looking at. I'm looking at USD CAD, right? Now, in terms of the USD CAD, I'm looking at it in a smaller time frame, 15-minute time frame. I can see that the market is now failing to push further towards the top side. Now, what is my expectation from here? I'm expecting markets to push, excuse, from him, and then we've broken structure, broken below here. What I'm expecting is, I'm expecting markets to retrace to some of the deeper levels around 61.8 or 78.6, from there, and then we can expect the market to push a little bit further towards the downside from there. Now, in terms of the real entry, where I'm expecting this market to go, I haven't really, touched on it, but 78.6 looks very good on me. This side of the, this side. Okay, cool. So we do have Some other news as well. Not really some other news, some other charts as well. This afternoon, we did look at Euro USD on the group, on the VIP group. Did send out the buy limit order. Now, there's a couple of things that I wanted to show you guys on this one. Yes, I am expecting market to retrace a little bit further down, but now it's getting late for that trade. If it does get late, we are going to have to close, the trade without taking the trade, meaning that we have to close the pending order, which was sent out. The expectation is that the market is going to retrace to these deeper levels, depending on how the market is going to react to the 2:30 news. But they expected to retrace, back to these areas, especially because this is the consumer price index that is expected this afternoon. So whatever the case might be, technically we are expecting markets to push a little bit further down and then trigger these trades, especially this trade, which is my outlook in this particular case. I'm expecting to buy towards the 4-hour IMP area that we have highlighted there. That is our target area in this particular case. But also looking at the current market structure on a 1-hour time frame and also on a 15-minute time frame, it does give us room to say that we can go into deeper, we can look into buying into this market over here, and then we can look into selling at a later stage in this particular case over here. We do have some other trades as well, especially looking at GBP but GBP I was late, this morning, and I didn't like it. I was late, and then GBP Jpy. Before I go to GBP Jpy is a beautiful setup over here when you look at it on a 4-hour time frame. What I'm beginning to see here, because we were looking to sell this particular setup here, and then it's failing to push further towards the downside. And I believe we should change our ways here. It's a quick one. Once the buy limit is set, we can sell it in the meantime. No. We cannot sell it in the meantime. We wait for markets to conform to our standards and to conform to our setup. So please do not do that while we wait. We are actually looking for buy at this moment, and we don't want to take a wrong trade. A wrong trade is entering a sell now. Okay, cool. So thank you for that question, but yeah, we're not going to be able to sell at this moment. Now, in terms of the GBP Jpy, right? I think there's a few things that I need to highlight here. There's a few things that I need to highlight here. I believe in terms of how the market is looking at and structuring itself, okay. I don't like this level, but hey. This is GBP Jpy. Sorry, just excuse me, guys. I don't know. This thing has just become slow, but I wanted to see something from here on GBP Jpy here. Okay. Now looking at this. Okay, we do have equal highs here, even though I did not highlight them the way it should be. But we do have equal highs here. These are actually equal highs. This is the market, pushing towards the top side to these areas. I believe these are the very important areas in terms of we could look into taking profit here and also above this area if we are buying in this market. So let's go to an hour time frame. If there is a reason to buy, then we are going to buy, but in this case we haven't found one. Okay. So at the moment there is no reason to buy, but should we find one, we should be looking to buy towards these areas. So it's not like we want to be buying at the moment before the market changes. It's about the current market structure which we are having here on 1 hour time frame, which is a little bit bullish in this particular case. It is a little bit bullish, and there's some sort of equal highs on the markets that we are having here. Okay, cool. We do have Euro GBP, which is a cool setup, right? Cool setup here on Euro GBP. Why? Euro GBP has been in a bearish market, bearish format for the last couple of days. And my expectation was to say that the market is going to approach the 61.8 and then change direction from here. I'm going to be looking at this trade very closely as it approaches the 61.8. If the market does, then I am going to be selling Euro GBP towards the downside over the next couple of hours or days. So I can basically say the thing is the problem will be stop loss at the moment. The stop loss that I'm having in mind is a little bit wide, very wide. So that's a big problem. That's a big problem. I don't want to have a wide stop loss. But I'll share this one on the VIP group as a signal as well. Those I am going to be sharing those are the kind of trades that you do have. If you do not have your live account sorted out, your live account is not funded, please do fund it and be added live on the VIP group. Number two, I'm happy that we are settled. We are here in Richards Bay, and we want to be having events aside. I'm going to be giving you guys updates on what's going on in and around Richards Bay these coming weeks, right? So we do have a big plan. Just want to get approvals and also quotations later on this afternoon, and then I'll see how we move and juggle things around. We do want to have an event also in Johannesburg later this month or beginning of the month of September. We do want to have that event later on, right? Later on this month, and the beginning of the month here next month, right? Cool. Those are the type of event that you want to have. Events to equip you. Strategy session in Johannesburg. When I have a strategy session in Johannesburg, when I have when I also have like another event as well in Johannesburg, and then also here we do want to have an event here. We want to be going around the stations and stuff to equip people on trading. Thank you so much for coming through. I will see you on the other side of the withdrawals. Subscribe and like this video if you're seeing it on YouTube. See you on the other side of the withdrawals. Shalom.